Have you ever looked back at a moment in your life and asked yourself, wait, did they actually like me all along? Maybe it was in the way they looked at you, the way they stood just a little too close, the way they paused when you smiled, like they wanted to say something but didn't. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? That realization that maybe, just maybe, the signs were there all along. You just didn't see them. And here's the truth, most of us don't. Not because we're blind, not because we're foolish, but because doubt is loud, and love is often quiet. You see, when someone has feelings for you, they rarely say it outright. Most people don't walk up and confess, hey, I think I'm falling for you. No, they show it, in small, subtle, nearly invisible ways. Psychology tells us those unspoken signs are often louder than words, and yet, we miss them. We miss them not because they aren't there, but because we don't believe we're someone worth being loved quietly. But what if you are? What if someone has already been showing you, through every glance, every gesture, every nervous laugh, that their heart has been speaking all along? Today, we're going to uncover 7 deep psychological signs that your crush may already like you, even if they've never said a word. And once you recognize them, you might just look back and realize someone's been feeling far more than they let on. Let's begin. Sign number 1, their eyes always search for you. It doesn't matter if they're across the room, in a group conversation, pretending to scroll on their phone. Somehow, their eyes keep drifting toward you. Not in an intense, obvious way, not like a movie stare that lasts too long, but in quiet, lingering glances, the kind they think no one notices. Psychologically, we're drawn to what we desire. This is known as selective attention. Our brain naturally prioritizes what and who matters to us. So when someone likes you, their eyes don't follow everyone. They follow you. Even when they try not to. Even when they're pretending to be cool. Their eyes betray them. They light up just a little when you enter a room. They soften when they see you smile. They look your way, then quickly look away when you catch them. It's not about staring. It's about seeking. A subconscious need to feel close, even if it's only from a distance. So ask yourself, have you caught them looking when they thought you weren't watching? If so, their heart may already be more invested than they're ready to admit. Sign number 2, their body mirrors yours. You cross your arms. A few seconds later, so do they. You lean in during a conversation. They lean in too, almost without realizing. These aren't coincidences. They're reflections. In psychology, this is called mirroring. It's one of the deepest, most unconscious signs of emotional connection. When we're drawn to someone, romantically, emotionally, or even with intense curiosity, our brains try to build connection by syncing physically. It's nonverbal communication that says, I'm aligned with you. I feel safe with you. Most people don't even know they're doing it. They just do. So next time you're talking to your crush, pay attention. Notice the way they shift when you shift. Notice if their posture begins to resemble yours. If their speech rhythm subtly matches yours, it's their subconscious saying, I want to be close to you. One small movement at a time. Sign number 3. They get nervous around you. They fidget. They touch their face. They laugh a little too loud. They stumble over their words or suddenly forget what they were saying. Sound familiar? This isn't clumsiness. It's not disinterest. It's not them being weird. It's emotional exposure. When someone truly cares how you see them, their body starts reacting. Why? Because now every word feels important. Every silence feels heavy. And every moment feels like it could change everything. That restless energy? It's their mind racing to make the right impression. It's the weight of wanting to be liked, but fearing they'll mess it up. So the awkward moments, the stumbles, the too loud laughter, they might be the most honest signs of all. Because when someone's feelings are quietly overflowing, their body speaks louder than their words ever could. Sign number 4. They remember the little things. You mention a favorite song in passing, and a few days later, they bring it up. You say you have an exam coming up or a big meeting, and somehow they remember to ask how it went. They hold on to the smallest details. Details you forgot you even shared. This isn't just about having a good memory. It's about emotional prioritization. Psychology tells us that when we care deeply about someone, our brain tags their words as emotionally significant. It files their thoughts into long-term memory. Because to us, those thoughts matter. So when someone remembers your favorite snack, your pet's name, that random joke you made last week, it's because deep down, you already matter more to them than they've ever said out loud. Think about it. Who remembers your little details? That could be the quiet proof of how much they truly care. That's 4 signs, and we're just getting started. So far, we've uncovered 4 quiet but powerful signs. The glance that lingers, the mirrored gesture, the nervous energy, and the memory of small things that matter only to someone who cares. But we're not done yet. Because love, real love, doesn't always arrive with fanfare. Sometimes it arrives in silence, in restraint, in fear, and in longing. And sometimes it reveals itself not in what someone says, but in what they can't say. So let's continue. Let's dive deeper into the psychology of affection that's unspoken, but undeniable. Sign number 5. Subtle jealousy shows through. They're fine. At least, that's what they say. You mention someone new, maybe a friend, a coworker, or a casual crush. You laugh about a message someone sent. You tell a story that includes another person, someone who isn't them. And then you notice it. Their smile falters just for a moment. Their eyes shift. They joke, lightheartedly, but something feels off. Or maybe they change the subject a little too quickly. That's not nothing. That's subtle jealousy. In psychology, jealousy is a protective reflex. It's not always loud or dramatic. In fact, when it's real, it often shows up in micro-expressions. Tiny shifts in tone. Split-second facial reactions. A silence that wasn't there a second ago. And no, it's not about control. It's not about possessiveness. It's about vulnerability. When someone cares about you deeply, even if they've never said a word, the idea of you being drawn to someone else hurts, even if they try to hide it. So if your crush gets a little quiet when someone else enters the picture, if their energy changes when you talk about someone new, that might be their heart quietly saying, I wish I could be the one you're talking about. It's the ache of unspoken affection, and it means more than words ever could. Sign number 6. They try to impress you without making it obvious. Have you noticed them suddenly sharing something they've accomplished? Maybe they casually mention an award, a project they're proud of, a compliment someone gave them, or even how they started going to the gym or learning something new. It's not bragging. Not really. Because when someone likes you, they want you to see the best version of who they are. This is called value signaling. Psychologically, we all want to be seen as interesting, capable, or admirable, especially by someone we're emotionally drawn to. So they try, but they do it quietly, subtly. They don't say, look at me. They say, oh, this just came up. But the way they glance at you after saying it, that reveals the truth. They want to impress you, not to get your attention like everyone else, but because your attention means more than anyone else's. So when someone starts showing up a little more put together, telling better stories, laughing a little louder, smiling a little wider when you're around, that effort isn't for the world. It might just be for you. Sign number 7. They find reasons to be near you, even when they don't have to. And finally, they just keep showing up. They're at the same places. They join conversations you're in. They offer to help you, even when you didn't ask. They ask you if you need anything. They stay a little longer than necessary. They seem to drift toward you, like it's not even a decision, just a natural pull. This is known in psychology as proximity seeking. It's deeply human. We feel safer, happier, and more emotionally fulfilled simply by being physically near the people we care about. It's why children cling to their parents, why best friends sit next to each other, and why someone who likes you will always look for a way to be where you are. It might not be dramatic. It might be as simple as sitting next to you in a group setting, or offering to walk with you when the day ends, or joining the same event or space, even when it's inconvenient. They aren't there just for the activity. They're there for you. Because even if they haven't said it, their heart has already decided that it feels more alive, more whole, and more seen in your presence. So now we've explored all 7 signs. Let's recap them for a moment. 1. Their eyes always find you in a crowd. 2. Their body mirrors your movements. 3. They get nervously flustered when you're near. 4. They remember things you didn't think anyone noticed. 5. They get subtly jealous, even when they try to hide it. 6. They make quiet efforts to impress you. 7. And they create reasons to be close, over and over again. Individually, these signs might feel small, insignificant, even coincidental. But together, they paint a picture, a quiet, powerful portrait of someone whose feelings might run far deeper than you ever imagined. But here's the most important question. Why do we miss these signs? Why do we overlook the glances, dismiss the nervous laughter, ignore the soft echoes of a heart that's trying to reach ours? It's not because we're blind. It's because we're unsure. Because we've been hurt. Because deep down, we've told ourselves a story. I'm not the kind of person people fall for. I'm probably just imagining it. They'd never see me that way. And so, we look away from the very signs that prove us wrong. We've now explored 7 powerful signs that someone may already like you, even if they've never said a word. And maybe as you listened, a face came to mind. Someone who lingers near you a little too long, who remembers too much, whose silence feels too heavy when you're close. And maybe, just maybe, you're starting to wonder, how did I not see it before? But here's the truth. Most people don't. And it's not because we don't notice. It's not because the signs are invisible. It's because something inside us filters them out before they ever reach our heart. It's called self-doubt. And it's one of the most powerful emotional blindfolds in human psychology. We don't miss the signs. We miss the belief that we deserve them. Think about it. How many times have you thought, they're just being nice. I'm probably imagining things. There's no way someone like that would like someone like me. We dismiss the glance. We explain away the memory. We tell ourselves the smile was just kindness. The attention was just politeness. The closeness was just coincidence. And why? Because deep down, many of us carry a quiet belief that we're not someone worth falling for. That love is for other people. More attractive people. More confident people. People who have it all figured out. Not us. Not the ones with scars. With awkward moments. With quiet insecurities no one ever sees. But here's the truth. That belief is a lie. A lie shaped by rejection. Shaped by moments you opened your heart and got hurt. Shaped by years of comparing yourself to versions of perfect that don't even exist. Psychologically, this is called negative self-schema. A mental framework where we filter every experience through the belief that we're not good enough. So even when love is standing right in front of us, we don't see it, because it doesn't fit the story we've been telling ourselves. Love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. We live in a world that celebrates the grand gesture, the public confession, the movie scene kiss in the rain. But in real life, love often arrives quietly, in stolen glances, in thoughtful questions, in shy gestures that barely break the surface. It's not always loud. In fact, it's often soft, because vulnerability is scary. And when someone truly cares about you, they don't always know how to say it. So instead, they show it in safe ways. Ways that protect their heart, but still reach for yours. The problem is, if you don't believe you're lovable, you'll miss every sign. Not because it wasn't there, but because your brain filtered it out. The psychology of deserving love. Let's go even deeper for a moment. According to attachment theory and emotional development research, many of us grow up internalizing how love should feel based on our earliest relationships. If love felt distant, unpredictable, or conditional, we start believing that's all we deserve. And then when something healthy shows up, when someone genuinely cares, we don't recognize it. It feels unfamiliar, uncomfortable, even suspicious. This is called emotional incongruence. Your inner world doesn't match your outer experience, so you reject what doesn't fit, even if what you're rejecting is love. So how do we begin to see clearly? It starts with one powerful shift. You have to believe you are worth being loved, even quietly. Not because you're perfect, not because you've earned it, but simply because you are human, and you feel deeply, and that is enough. You're not too much. You're not enough. You're not just okay. You are worthy, just as you are, of someone who notices the little things, who mirrors your joy, who gets nervous around you because they care how you see them. You are worthy of someone who shows up in quiet ways, someone who tries without saying they're trying, someone who likes you so much they don't even know how to tell you. Let's look back with new eyes. Take a moment. Think about someone from your past, or even your present. Someone whose behavior you once dismissed as friendly, polite, or casual. What if you were wrong? What if their smile wasn't just politeness? What if their glance wasn't just coincidence? What if they remembered because they cared? What if they hesitated because they were afraid of what would happen if you knew? You don't have to reach out. You don't have to do anything. Just allow yourself to wonder. What would it change to believe that you were lovable all along? What would it feel like to go back to those moments, but this time, see them with a heart that believes it deserves to be seen? Love is always there. We just have to learn how to see it. And now, something incredible happens. Once you change your story, once you shift from "I'm not lovable" to "maybe someone already does," you begin to notice everything differently. You notice who leans in, who lights up, who listens more closely than everyone else, who seems to always be where you are, who smiles differently when you're around. Because love isn't hiding, it's just been whispering. And now that you've started to listen, you can begin to recognize it. By now you've seen the signs. You've felt their weight. You've revisited the glances, the gestures, the moments that once seemed small, but now feel like clues to something more. And maybe for the first time, you're starting to believe it wasn't just in your head. Maybe someone really did like you. Maybe someone still does. But that leads to one big, tender question. What do I do now? Because recognizing the signs is only the beginning. The next part, the hardest part, is responding to them. So today, we're going to talk about how to take those quiet moments and gently turn them into connection. Not with pressure, not with a script, but with honesty, self-respect, and just enough courage to change everything. Step 1. Soften, don't confront. When you start to recognize that someone might like you, the instinct might be to ask, to confront, to seek a clear answer. But love, especially when it's quiet, rarely survives under interrogation. Instead of demanding clarity, try something softer. Let them know you see them. Make space for their energy to feel safe around you. Return their eye contact. Lean in when they do. Say thank you when they remember something small. Match their effort, not with suspicion, but with openness. When someone's been afraid to show how they feel, your warmth becomes permission. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is simply not look away anymore. Step 2. Signal safety. Many people hold their feelings back not because they don't feel deeply, but because they don't feel safe enough to share. So if you sense someone likes you, but they're holding back, ask yourself this. What signals am I giving them? Have you been guarded? Dismissive? Too busy or distracted to notice? You don't have to confess your feelings right away. You just have to open the door a little. A compliment, a laugh that lasts a beat longer, a question that invites depth. These tiny moments say, it's okay to feel something here. You're not alone in this. Emotional safety is the foundation of all connection. If you can offer it, you might be surprised how quickly the other person begins to open up. Step 3. Let curiosity lead. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to know where it's going. You just need to be curious enough to explore. Ask yourself, what would happen if I leaned in a little? What if I stopped assuming the worst? What if I gave this a little room to grow? Curiosity softens pressure. It invites presence. It removes the weight of outcome and replaces it with the magic of discovery. You don't need to know if it's love. You just need to be willing to find out. And that journey, that slow unfolding, it's where real love begins. Step 4. Know when to let go gently. Sometimes we see the signs, we feel the pull, and we still don't end up with the person we hoped for. Maybe they liked you once, but the timing wasn't right. Maybe fear kept them frozen. Maybe life simply moved on. That's okay. Because seeing the signs isn't just about finding someone else's affection. It's about finding your own capacity to be loved. Even if nothing comes of it, you now know this. You are lovable. You are magnetic. You are the kind of person someone else quietly admires. And that knowing stays with you. It changes how you walk, how you speak, how you show up in every room. It plants a seed of belief that will bloom again. Maybe with someone new. Maybe sooner than you think. Because you've started listening. And love is always speaking. Step 5. Be that quiet sign for someone else. Now that you know how love shows up in subtle ways, you can be that sign for someone else. Not in a manipulative way. Not in a game. But in presence, in kindness, in authenticity. If you feel something, let it show. If you care, let it be seen. It doesn't have to be dramatic. A hand that lingers. A compliment that feels sincere. A moment of stillness where you look into someone's eyes and really see them. We often think love needs fireworks. But more often than not, it just needs someone brave enough to go first. To say, I see you. I value you. I like being near you. You might be surprised how many hearts are just waiting for someone to notice them. And so, we return to the beginning. Maybe the signs were always there. The glance, the hesitation, the way they seemed to light up when you were near. Breathe. And ask yourself one last time, who came to mind when you heard these signs? And more importantly, what would change if you believed they weren't just in your imagination, but already in your heart? If this series meant something to you, leave a comment below. Let us know. Which sign spoke to you the most? Who do you think may have been feeling something more than they said? And don't forget to like and subscribe, because understanding the silent language of love might just be the first step toward finally finding it. Love is always there. You just have to learn how to see it. And now you do.